Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to the workshop. Today we have the next exciting installment of Build the Nissan Skyline as featured in the Fast and Furious franchise. So today we're going to be working on the engine that we worked on a little bit last time, and we even have the front subframe assembly. So let's get into it, let's get building. So here we are with the next build pack for the Nissan Skyline. We have issue 6 that we're starting off with. And I'll just give you a quick flick through the magazine. Again, telling you all about the Nissan Skyline GTR. And as you can see on this one, we are working on the engine block. So I have pulled over the engine block that we started on last time. And as you can see, we're just adding a few more details to that engine. And we'll end up with something that looks just like so. So these are all the parts we get. We have quite a lot of parts in here, including this very nice, this is plastic, but it's still a very nice end cover. And we've got a few other engine detail parts. So we're going to place all that on our engine block. Right, so we're going to kick off with this piece here, and that is going to go just on the side here. We've got two holes just here, and we've got a couple of holes that we need to line up just like so. And then we're going to secure that in place with two AM screws. Now we are going into metal, so you know the drill. Just stuck this in a little bit of oil, which is WD-40, but any oil should do. And you'll see that they go in absolutely smoothly. So that's looking just like so. Next we have these parts. We have three that look very similar, but we have two that look identical and one that is different. There we go. So we have these two with the cog on that side, and then we have this one with the cog on this side. You can see it's flat across the top. So these are 6A, this one's 6B. So interested in 6A at first. And we need these little connecting rods. And they are labelled as 6H. And we're going to be placing them on the little peg here. And they're going to go like that. Do the same for this one. And then this one, it obviously goes on the other side. Just like so. Now they are going to go onto the side of the engine here. And the way they're going to go is we have an A, another A, and then finishing off with B. So we'll have these two pins together like that. And we're going to secure those all with a BP screw in each of those. And the last one just in here. Now we have our oil dipstick. And that's going into the hole. You can just see, hopefully, there. Might need a pair of tweezers just to get that to go in and push in. Like so. And then we have the alternator housing, and that's going to go into the little slot you see there. And we're going to secure that with an AM screw. Just like that. Next we need our alternator housing, and we need this alternator support, and that has got a little tab on the end. That's going to go into the hole you see there. So that's just pushed in like so. So then this is going to push onto here, and we've got a hole just here that one's going to go into as well. So I'm going to close up the alternator housing, ensuring that goes in there as well. Just ensuring that housing lines up with the rest of it, like so. And then just making sure that that is pushed all the way in as well. So it's looking just like that. We then have our oil filter, and we've got the hole just here on the side of the engine block, and that is going to push into there. Now it is got a key-shaped pattern, so it will only go in and settle in one way round, which would be like so. Next, we've got this nice shiny engine cover, and that's going to go on the end of here, like so, with that piece protruding out. And we're going to use an AP screw to secure that. So, just like that. And then next we have our intake manifold. And we just need to join these pieces together. There is a D-shaped pattern, so it'll only go in one way around, like so. And then this will be going just on the side of the engine here. I do need to make sure these rods are up out of the way. And it has got all these pins here. That's going to line up with all the pins that you can see across there. And that's going to sit in just like that. Now we're going to secure that in place with 3 KP screws. They're quite tiny screws, but they're going into the holes you see just below here. It'd probably be nice to see silver screws for this, but that's not the end of the world. They can always be painted. That's number 2. And number 3 going in just there. And then we're going to finish off this stage with this piece and this piece. And with it this way around, this piece is just going to go into the hole there, ensuring that it's straight. You can see that it goes around that bar, like so. And then this is going to be going on top of the engine manifold. You can see the holes just here. And it's going to go this way around and just sit in those 4 holes there. And it's just a push in fit, just like that. And then we've got these 2 rods, and they're going to go down like that. And we've got a hole that we're going to put an NP screw all the way through. And we have this rod here, which is going to go onto the little pin, hopefully, that you can see just in there. So I'm going to use a pair of tweezers for that one, just to get that in place. So that one's over that little rod. And as I said, an NP screw to secure the other ones in place. It's a very tiny screw and a very tiny screw head, so I'll switch to my 00 bit. And as you can see, we're going to go through this first rod, screwing into the bit we've just put on the engine, and then into that other rod. So that is looking just like that. So we've got the two rods here held by that screw, and then we've got this final rod here that's just on that little nipple there. And that is all there is to do in that stage. And that is the engine looking absolutely fantastic. Okay, so moving on with issue 7. And again, just give you a quick flick through the magazine. And as you can see, this time around we are working on the brake disc, and we're just assembling that like so. So first thing I'm going to be doing is assembling the caliper. Now this just pushes together. Just like that. And then we have the brake rotor itself. And we've got a couple of holes there. And we've got a couple of holes just there. We're going to just line those up. Got these pins around as well. So just make sure all those line up like so. And then just using a couple of screws, we're going to secure that together. And these are ZP screws. And that is what that looks looking like. And that is all there's to do in that stage. And moving on to the last issue in this build pack, issue 8. And as you can see, we're starting work on the front suspension. And by the end of it, we'll have something that looks like that. So these are the parts we have. We have been given another screwdriver this time around. So we've got a slightly bigger screwdriver. This must be a PH0, maybe a PH1. But again, I'm going to continue using my own iFixit screwdriver. We have these parts. Now, these parts here are all metal. I believe those are as well. Okay, so the first things we're going to be doing is working on the control arms. This is the left one. We've got an L on there, and this is the right one, and that is again marked with an R. So starting with the left one, we're going to take our little mounting blocks, and they are going to go just over the ends like that, and like that, and we're going to secure that in with an AEM screw. That's one of these quite long screws. This one's going in from this side. So that's all the way in there, and as you can see, it moves freely. You can do the same for this side. You might find it a little bit easier to start the screw in the part first. You can place it over there, line it up with a hole in the other piece, and just continue screwing that all the way through until you get to the other side. Now, so we don't want this too tight because we want this to actually move like so. Now we're going to take that and we're going to add it to our sub-assembly. And this one is going to go just in here. We have these two little lugs on the bottom, and they're going to go into the holes you can see there. So it's going to sit in just like that. We're going to flip it over and use two of the CM screws to secure that in place. That's looking like that, and as you can see, that has some movement. And do the exact same thing for this side. So again, that piece is going to go over there. We're going to get the screw into this part, ensuring it lines up with that hole in the other part, all the way like that. And then we're going to do the same for this side. And then we're going to be mounting that to the sub-assembly as well. And that's in there just like that. And as we did on the other one, we're going to just line it up with those two holes, like that, flip it over and use 2 CM screws to hold that in place. And that is all there is to do in that stage, and all there is to do in that build pack. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please remember to give it a big thumbs up. So that's the Skyline done for another month, looking absolutely fantastic. Now, we also did only get 3 issues this time. I think next time, we are ramping up to maybe 5 or 6 issues every month. So there'll be a lot more to do. But having said that, the bits we have done this time have made a massive difference. And the engine detail on there is looking absolutely brilliant. And we've obviously created this little sub-assembly as well for this front suspension. And obviously we've got one of the front brake discs now, looking absolutely perfect. Obviously got everything else laid out here, and we've got some nice iconic bits like the front bumper and the bonnet, both looking absolutely fantastic. And you really get, when they give you something like this, it really does give you a sense of the scale of the model. It does really give it a good bit of perspective. And obviously the Skyline's quite a long car as well, so it's going to be a good sized model, as with all the other models we've done. But if you want to see more of how that progresses, or anything else that goes in the workshop, please do remember to hit the subscribe button and ding that bell. Then you'll be notified when I release new videos. Until next time, I'll see you around. Cheers!